Mason, and that was actually related to Nancy Sinatra, Barbato, my cousin. And they grew up in the small town of Bari, and of course migrated over to New York. And the family, made their way through different parts of New York, Jersey City, and upstate New York, the Rochester, New York area, and Buffalo area, and whatnot. But that's basically where the connection started, as far as what my grandfather used to tell me. And I remember always being at my grandfather's, and we would see Frank Sinatra singing on a show, on the Dean Martin show, or one of the variety shows, or on his own show. And my grandfather would always look at the TV and say, Frank, you see that man over there? You are related to him. At that age, I had no idea what that meant, but I did know that I appreciated the music. I respected the man and the music, and of course, so did my entire family. But didn't really understand the connection of the family until got older, and started to really perform and sing myself.
Now, when you grew older and you started to realize the legacy of the family, at what moment, at what point did it hit you, and you wanted to also sing?
Well, when I was actually as a young boy, my mother always encouraged us to be in music. My brother was a percussionist. My oldest brother, my middle brother, was a guitarist. He still plays guitar to this day, and creates his own music. And of course, I was the singer. Um, I sang in choirs. I've done Godspell and other plays such as that, Narnia, and performed on stage. Again, not so much always as a young man, but as I got older, and in my life, I've loved to perform. And as I sang and got to sing for family and other people, the buzz started, and it was. My mom would say, "Gee, you have such a talent and such a gift," and so many people I knew said the same thing. Well, after a while, when you hear that from so many people, different people saying the same thing, I started to build on that and develop that. Not so much through any kind of vocal training, but just on my own. I uh, um, I lived in a small town out of Rochester, New York, called Webster, New York, and I had a small studio that I set up in my basement, which was finished. And I remember being down there for days and days, and just going down there and practicing and recording, and trying to refine the talent and gift that I have.
Frank, you have an amazing, beautiful
Thank
voice.
you.
It's just wonderful to hear you. You
Awesome.
actually transport us
Yeah,
to other places in time,
that's
and
awesome.
it's just wonderful.
Yeah,
But you are a self taught singer.
correct. I am.
Ha-
Like I say, I would just listen to the music over and over and over, and then I would sing the music, and I would read the music. I don't necessarily read music per se. I'm me and like a Perry Cuomo type of thing. We have one thing in common, is that we both don't read music, but we can listen and sing when we hear it over and over again. We have an ear for the music to be able to sing it. And I'm basically taught by ear, and listening to the music that I enjoyed, and what I think is the music that I felt not only that I liked, but fit my particular voice and sound. So. And it just became more and more popular, and then when, of course, adding the family connection in, it was more inspiring than ever. So and it inspires so many other people, and to see people react to what you do, and to give you the accolades, and tell you things like you've just said. It's fulfilling. I mean, beyond what you could believe. I just love singing. I love performing, and making people smile, and that's what it's all about.
What do
Yeah.
you see in people when you're performing? I'm sure you connect with everyone there, but what do you see in their face outside of their smiles? Do you actually see them being transported?
You know, I do in some cases, but bewilderment, and when you're looking out into an audience and singing, I just see people looking like, "Wow, is this for real?" In fact, I remember doing a performance at the Jazz Festival up in Rochester, New York, and I was singing in this little lounge, and it was packed, and people were outside the door, and uh, outside. And I remember a gentleman coming in and making his way to the front of the stage, the small stage that I was on. It was smoky in the room at the time because it was a cigar lounge, as I remember. And he made a comment of to someone else that he thought it was that I was lip syncing to the music. And so what I did is in the next song that I sang, I won't forget the song. It was Witchcraft, I think, of all songs. And I changed the lyrics in the middle of the song. And he just went, his mouth just dropped, and everyone started laughing and clapping and cheering. And the feeling was just amazing to have somebody, first of all, say that they thought I was lip syncing. I thought, wow, okay. Is it that really that good? And then to see his face after the fact when I changed the words and lyrics to the song. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow, it's amazing. Now, what type of music outside of the one that you currently sing
Mhm.
did you enjoy as well? Or did you ever sing other genres of music?
Oh yeah, when I first started singing, publicly and performing at different steakhouses and lounges and things like that, I did a variety of music. I did uh, Neil Diamond, Engelbert, Bobby Darin,
Wow.
a variety of songs, and I actually enjoyed. I like the Neil Diamond songs. I mean, I have a real knack for that. My mother always enjoyed Neil Diamond. That was one of her favorite entertainers and performers, and so I kind of took a liking to his music. And I've done a variety of the older standard type, performers' music. So yeah, I like the variety of stuff, but mostly now I stay with what I know as far as like the big band Sinatra stuff because it's
Beautiful.
timeless and everybody can connect to it. So yeah.
Wow, it's just the greatest gift from God to be able
Hmm.
to possess the voice that you have and to be able to connect with people
Yeah.
and to be able to take them outside of their norm
Hmm. That's true.
into another place. And it's very romantic, it's
Of
very
course.
sweet. The message is just wonderful, it embraces you. Now, that is a gift from God. How or when did you ever have the opportunity to engage with God? How early was it in your life? What, at the moment that you were able to interact with God, at what point in your life is what I'm trying to ask?
Well, I first dedicated my life to the Lord, became a Christian, a dedicated Christian when I was 11 years old at Leighton Ford Crusade. Now, Leighton Ford was Billy Graham's brother in law. He would actually travel like Billy Graham did back in the day, and he would do crusades. And they came to our city, and my mom took me and my brothers, and we were in the audience, and we came forward to make a profession of faith in Christ. And it was I'll never forget, it was a transforming experience for me at that time in my life. And as we got older, you kind of go up and down with that whole thing because, as life goes on, you're in high school, you're hanging out with kids that maybe aren't Christians or have, that kind of guidance in their life or faith in their life. And so, I went back and forth for a while, but when I got to turn just after high school, 19 years old, I'll never forget, I ran into a bunch of friends from high school that also dedicated their lives to Christ. And I went from, hitting the bars every now and then to, right back to my Christian roots and going to Bible studies and having Bible studies with the friends that I knew from high school that were doing it. And we had a nice little group of guys and girls that we're just getting together for social things that were outside of the typical bar scene. Although I always have to be in that scene now because it's a part of what I do. I've become a little more balanced, I think, on the whole thing, but able to be in a place where I can at least touch lives where I probably normally wouldn't have if I didn't.
What about the praise and worship music?
I did a lot of that when I was going to a church up in Penfield, New York, Browncroft Community Church. I couldn't forget that because that's where I performed live with the drama group, and we sang a lot of gospel songs. And as far as my own, persuasion in that area, I have not done any gospel music. I'm not opposed to doing it. It's there's a whole uh, variety of things I'd like to do moving forward, including some jazz and writing my own songs, and most certainly gospel music would definitely be a part of that.
Now, what are the most difficult situations that you've endured and been able to surpass?
Well, I'd say divorce in my life. I have two beautiful young children. Well, they're not young anymore, but I always think they're young, and they always remind me of how they're not, because they're doing things. And I said, "Listen, I'm your dad. I'll be your dad till you're, whenever. I don't know how old I'll be and you'll be when it's when I move on." But the thing is, I'm a father and I love my babies. And I got, like I say, two beautiful girls, 23 and 25. And I'm blessed like that. But again, yeah, divorce was tough. I'm a very, relationship. I'm a relationship guy. We were married 17 years. Just differences in views and things like that separated us, unfortunately. And believe it or not, both Christians. Um, it was unfortunate. So that was a downturn in my life, I think, and something that I wish I could have done differently. But you go on, and and you move on, and you pick up things, and you move on, and you move forward. I mean, that's the only thing you can do.
Now that you're moving forward,
Hmm.
tell me about the wonderful side of music. Any history or story that you'd like to share with the audience?
Well, for me, it's just been the journey that I've had in starting out in basically my basement, singing to myself, and my little daughter Amanda, and who's now a songwriter and singer and is putting things out
Wow,
on
that's
her own.
wonderful.
Yeah, I would love for you to meet her, and
Oh,
and
for
and
sure.
she's quite an inspiration to me. I know I was probably to her, and the journey's been exciting. Um, Probably a little later in life than I would have hoped it to be, but nonetheless, I mean, I don't try to put any, uh, you know, uh, parameters on that kind of thing, but I've enjoyed the journey. I mean, it's just keeps getting better. It's not like it's slowed down or anything other than the COVID.
Yes.
This whole pandemic thing has stopped a lot of entertainment, but it's offered me other opportunities to be able to connect with people and friends and to do things that I probably wouldn't have done had I constantly been going. So we got, I'm working with Khalila Ali, as you know, Muhammad Ali's wife, and she's my manager. She's not only my manager, she's a mentor and a great friend. And I'm just so thankful that in life you have certain connections, and there's only so many connections you make in a lifetime, and I couldn't be more flattered, honored, and privileged to have someone of her stature and her makeup and her personality to be a part of my life. Because quite honestly, like I say, the journey's gotten better, and just meeting her has been just something that's really put the frosting on the cake for my journey. I mean, if it ended today, I'd be as happy as I could ever be.
Wow, that's fantastic. And
Hmm.
we do have a surprise for the audience. She'll
Yes,
be joining us later in the program.
yes,
So I'm really excited about that as well. The
absolutely.
very thought of you. It's just
Yes,
a beautiful song.
yes, it is.
Tell me how this song came to your life.
Well, the song was introduced to me through a friend of mine who was actually a DJ, and he was doing a wedding for a couple that wanted that for their bridal dance. And he had called me and he had said, "Hey Frank, would you be able to do this?" I was out of town at the time, but I was coming back in town, and I said, "Yeah, let me do it." And ever since I did that song for that couple, um, and it was heard, and then I know he posted it at a few different social media sites, and it became a song that not only people enjoyed that I did, but one that I actually enjoyed that I did, because the way that the song is written and the way that the song and the lyrics and the music in the song is performed, it just has a real good melody and harmony, and it's real smooth, and it just really says a lot about uh, the women in your life and the woman in your life. Let's put it that way. It's just a great tune, and I gotta say, it's just one that's very inspiring, and it just touches your heart. I love it.
It's a beautiful song.
Yeah,
All your songs are
thank
beautiful.
you.
Is there a particular song that you've come very close to? And have you sang any of the Frank Sinatra songs?
I do sing most of his songs, and I mean, as far as all the songs that Frank sang, I think over 400 songs. which is a lot of songs to perform and to have to remember the lyrics to and everything. But when you do them over time, you do. It's like second nature. As far as specifics, I enjoy them all. There are ones that I do, like "You Make Me Feel So Young." I mean, that song is so inspiring to me because it speaks to so many generations. And I know when I performed for several nursing homes, and I sing that particular song, you could just see the faces of the people there, light up. And I'll sometimes even grab the mic and go off the stage and go down
Wow,
into
it's
the
beautiful.
audience and sing with a couple of them, and they know the words and they feel the song. And you know it's not a spiritual song per se. None of them really are. I mean, there might be some connotations to some of them, but the spiritual impact that it makes on the people that I sing for, especially the in the nursing homes and things like that, and even the younger people, it you could just see how it impacts them. I've had people from 20 something to 80 something enjoy
Wow.
the songs that I sing, and Sinatra songs that I see. I look at some of these younger people and say, "How do you even know this stuff?" And they go, "Oh, we love Frank Sinatra." I go, "How?" My grandfather, my father listened to it, and it's music different than what we have today because it's really cool and sounds great, and it's just touching, and it's. I mean, I'm hearing these are younger guys saying this to me and younger people. So it's timeless and it's legendary stuff.
And it's so wonderful because I can imagine that it brings them back
Yeah,
to their
of
story
course. Yeah,
when they were younger and their life.
hmm,
Well, it's just a reflection.
yeah,
So that is
absolutely.
wonderful.
Very inspiring.
No, most definitely. Now, I want to ask you, for instance, there's a lot of things that are coming up. What are you most excited about?
Well, we've been kind of on the downturn here as far as like what's happening with the COVID and everything. A lot of the venues haven't really opened up to large audiences yet. But I am excited to work with Khalil Ali, obviously, because she's been connecting me with different venues that, well, for example, in Las Vegas, I haven't performed there since 2004, and I would love to be back in Las Vegas. And she's got the connections for that. And also, we've been talking to Boca Resort and the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. So I'm excited about those shows because I know once those shows are back in action, so to speak, that those opportunities will just blossom into other opportunities. So I'm looking forward to things getting back to normal, and I'm sure they will be. It'll just take time, and we'll have to do it safely, of course.
Most definitely. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm also excited to bring her. I think it's a good moment to
Yeah,
invite her into the
absolutely.
program. So while we wait for her to come
Okay.
into the OVM radio studio here, I wanted to also talk to you about the music that you're thinking of actually writing and performing new music.
Yes, I am looking at writing some music. I've been connected with a couple different writers. I have written some of my own stuff, um, and I'm looking forward to putting it to music. So we'll see what happens as time goes on. Right now, we've been focusing on, like I say, a lot of the venues, kind of promotional stuff
Yes.
with the venues opening and that. But definitely still penning stuff out and putting lyrics together for music, and it will have original, probably more than one original eventually of my own. So that's exciting.
And also, I wanted to ask you, what is your dream? What is Frank Barbato's dream?
My dream is to obviously to do that, to do write my own music, and looking forward to the opportunities that are coming soon.
Wow, I'm excited myself.
Yes.
Well, I'm really excited because now we're going to have Mama Ali. She'll be joining us here at the program. This program is really special having Frank Barbado and Mama Ali join us now. It's really exciting for me because I've been also a fan of Muhammad Ali. And it's just a joyful moment here at the studio at OVM Radio to have Mama Ali join us. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
I'm so.
Buenos días.
Oh, buenas
Buenas
tardes.
tardes. ¿Dónde está la
Sí.
grabadora? La grabadora está debajo de la mesa.
Eh,
Oh wow,
Está aquí,
she's going
en,
deep.
Yeah, baby.
All right,
en el
Mama.
micrófono.
¿Ya oís?
El
Y el
micrófono.
micrófono. Oh, yes. Boca la
Mamá Lee,
cerveza.
vamos a hablar en español. Frank Barbato in Spanish now?
Yeah, right.
Well, you know, you got to be able to speak all languages when you go
Yes.
places. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's so wonderful to have you here. So
I'm
exciting.
excited. I had no idea I was coming on the show. This was all about Frank Barbato,
Yes, it is.
but this is awesome. Thank you so much. You
Well,
couldn't have a better person on the radio.
yes, and I'm excited. I'm so blessed that he's blessed us today with inviting you to come to the studio and join us in the program here. It's just well, it's all been a surprise.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah, he told me about the interview, and I said, this is really great.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But Frank is he's a legend. He has
Yes.
come from legendary people. Nancy Barbados Sinatra was a great woman. She helped and build Frank Sinatra and supported him in his younger years. That's why he's great. And I felt in the same footsteps too, building and supporting great men. And she was really wonderful. I've always been an admirer of hers. And
It's
to lock in with this dude here, man,
yes.
I mean, it's good managing people who are just totally talented.
Yes,
They
he
just can't
is.
help it, you know.
Yes.
So it's easy to market people like him because he is a legendary royalty of music. And even though he's a self-taught person,
Yes.
but we're gonna see what we can do to put him on a grandstand. Sinatra is gone, Nancy is gone, and he has to carry on the legend as a great singer.
Yes, most definitely.
It's been a lot of fun too. We've met so many. We have a lot of mutual friends.
Wow, how exciting is
It's
that?
it's it,
To
it,
meet
it,
legendary people
yeah.
that have brought so much joy to so many people around the world, and to be able to have those connections and interact with those wonderful people as well.
But you know what it does. It shows the spirituality of God, connecting the dots, putting the right people together for the right reasons. And people must, this is why people, he's a very spiritual person. And I admire that. I'm a spiritual person, and we're from two different ways of life,
Yes.
two different religions, but they're all together. They all meet each other and atone to the spirituality of life. And that's why people need to learn to respect people's religion, because it's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
No religion teaches you to hate. No religion teaches you uh bad things, to be bad. I mean,
Hmm.
if you're going to be a Christian, be a good one. If you're going to be a
Yes.
Muslim, be a good one. If you're going to be Jewish, be a good one, because it's all about what God wants you to do.
It's all about love.
Love. There you
Lo-
go.
Loving each other,
Yes.
understanding each other. And it's good to talk about the things of God. What does the Bible say?
That's right.
How do you perceive it? How do
Yeah.
I perceive it?
Yeah.
What does the word say? I mean, it's
Amen.
wonderful.
Absolutely.
It,
It just nurtures you.
it does. And
Yeah.
they need to know this. They need to know when Jesus speaks, listen, because there's nothing wrong in any of it. It's all wisdom for you to learn and carry your life by, you
Yes.
Amen.
know,
Mhm.
and it's
Amen.
a beautiful thing. And people don't realize how beautiful the religions are: Christianity, Islam, Judaism. It's all a beautiful thing, you know.
Especially the Proverbs. A lot of people say,
Yes,
well, how can I be a good Christian? How can I perceive? Well, read Proverbs.
yeah,
Proverb teaches you
Right.
a lot of those
Wisdom.
great values and
Amen.
wisdom
Hmm.
exactly.
for you to be a good
It's true.
person, a good
That's right.
Christian.
And it's a beautiful thing. I've seen a lot of but see, they don't look at Christianity in the right way. when you see and look, and there are signs all over. They have movies about the Vikings and Christians and the medieval times. And Christianity is what brought humanity to the barbarians and the people that didn't believe in God. They believed idols, you know.
Mhm.
So when Christianity came, they just, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to just try to destroy it. But see, since they couldn't do that, they had to just go along with it. So, the kings back in those times, the Romans, it was
Yeah.
like, you're
God is in
supposed
the throne,
God.
Mama Lee. God is in the
I
throne.
know it is. Totally agree. And it's really beautiful, and that's why I was saying when it comes down to it, this guy is really beautiful. He's
Yes,
a
he
spiritual
is.
person. He's a talented person. Hell, I wish I could sing
He's
like
a
that.
very loving person. He's so
Yeah.
simple.
Hmm.
He has this wonderful voice,
I know. It's
God's
beautiful.
Thank you.
gift.
God's gift. That's right.
And
Amen.
he's just so
Thank you.
simple.
Yeah. And he is simple. He's a good man. They don't
Easy to
have men.
figure out, huh?
Yeah.
Mom?
Well,
No,
yeah.
just-
Yeah, but
no.
you're easy to figure out because you do what men do back in the day. See, you're old soul.
Old school. Yeah,
You
I
got,
got you.
you're old school.
Yes,
Women
ma'am.
today couldn't handle you.
Yeah, a lot of them can't.
No, you're right. Oh,
So funny.
yeah, that's why we both are single because it's really hard.
Yeah,
You
old
guys are
school.
too much.
Oh, we have a good time.
We have a
together.
good time together.
Oh, that's
He's,
great.
he's a good person.
I do want you to share a little bit of history
Mhm.
with your husband, Muhammad Ali.
Oh,
Is there
wow.
anything that you would like to share with the audience?
Oh, you know what? My life is an open book. Matter of fact,
but
speaking of book,
here,
yeah, right here. But it was nice. I was only 10 years old when I actually literally met the guy, and he was 18 years old. At that time, it was 1960. He had just won the Olympics in Rome, representing the United States in the boxing world. So he got the gold medal, and he comes back. And I don't know anything about what's going on in Rome. I was only 10,
yes.
So this guy comes to the school to want to see the Muslim empire. And he said, I'm going to be the heavyweight champion of the world before I'm 21. Get your autographs now because I'm going to be famous. I said, what is this guy coming in and telling me what he going to do? And then, Muslims have different names, beautiful historical names, And Christians got beautiful historical names, like Ruth, like John, you got
Mhm.
beautiful names in this religions, right? And he comes up and he said, here, girl, this is my autograph. I looked at it and I say, wait a minute. Your name is Cassius Marcellus? That's a Roman name. You know what the Romans did to people, brother? Yeah. I don't know. And I said, then you got clay. That's like dirt you mold. You proud of this, my man? He said, I thought it was. I said, man, until you and I start tearing it up. And I said, until you get a name of respect, a name of honor. Matter of fact, if you get a Muslim, I can understand it. And then I can accept that. But I sort of just gave it back to him. So you take that back with you. I don't think I want that name. He just went off.
Oh my God.
He said, she tore up my autograph. Pretty men don't get rejected.
Right.
Pretty men with a name don't get rejected, except that time, at that day, that was an awakening for him. And that's when the target landed on my forehead. So he go, who is she, man? Who is she? You can't mess with her. She's Muslim. They're Muslim version. They don't even talk to men. He said, well, she talked to me and she tore up my autograph. He said, well, maybe she's trying to tell you something, but you want to leave that alone. That's how it started.
Wow.
That's how it started. And the book that I'm writing is an untold story. Frank want to call it the greatest behind the greatest.
Because
But,
she is. She's the matriarch of the family.
uh,
I think the thing too that people don't understand, Elaine, like I was telling you earlier, is like Kalila and Nancy Sinatra Senior. and my own mom, as a matter of fact, who worked in a factory, was supposed to work in a factory a couple of years to bring extra money into the home when my mom and dad were married. Ended up 30 years in a GM factory in a plant that was just full of smells and grease and lugging tools and things around it, things that men would be doing. And she did it for 30 years and provided kept us in our home and allowed us to be able to go to a decent school and
Yeah.
have food on the table. So what I focus on in performing, and another thing you said, what excites you about your journey and the things that you do to perform, and this is the key thing is I get to tell the story of the women behind the men that don't get the accolades that created the men that they were. So
Mm.
Nancy, of course, Sinatra Senior behind Frank, and of course Muhammad Ali, and Mama Ali being that impetus to behind him in creating the brand that he became,
Yes.
protecting the brand that he was, because he was always out doing his own deal and making things real hard. She was like out trying to like like the what is that thing where
Juggle.
the juggler
Juggler.
who's trying
The
to
juggler.
catch everything, or you see it in these sitcoms and
Yeah.
cartoons where they're their things are falling and they're trying to catch it all over the place. And that's Mama Ali. She was always trying to clean up after what the
After the
things
guy.
that he did in
Yeah.
order to keep the brand and to keep him protected
Right.
for his own good and for the future of his brand. And so the same thing with a lot of the women that I think don't get the accolades, as far as, and we all know it's the women in life. Not only is it because of women we're here. I mean, it's my mom, it's her.
Yeah.
They create life,
Yeah.
God-given life, of
Yeah.
course, and then they sustain it. So there's a lot more to it than I think people even think about sometimes with how the matriarchs of these great and famous celebrity families are not seen, and the work that goes behind what they
It's
gotta do.
really tough because when I met Frank Sinatra, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest guy in the world. And I see all kind of women coming toward him, and I think men is just too weak to handle it. They can't handle it, you know. And there's a saying in the Holy Quran that says men were made to be weak, and it's really there. And I'm going, yeah, that is. So we
That's true.
understand it. The women are basically like you. You're a queen. You're a mother. You know, you have
Yeah.
children, right?
Yes, I have to.
Now you have to see you're a nurturer. You nurture these children. The men don't
Yes.
nurture them. They there to be a guide, but if they're not there, they still gonna be guided with or without them. But
Yes.
it shows that you know what, a lot of people out there. I'm talking to the Christian women out there right now. You know, I'm telling you that if you have not had any children, you are naturally a mother anyway. So
Yeah.
don't feel bad if you don't have kids or can't have kids. You are born mother because you're always teaching somebody else. You're always
Yes.
nurturing
It's
somebody.
true.
How
Yeah.
many women out there have nurtured kids and they're not theirs?
No,
But
been through.
women are still mothers, mothers of civilization. That's what they are, and they were born that way, whether they like it or not. And women like you doing this beautiful OVM radio, you're spreading love, you're sparing the spirit of your Christianity home base, giving information, giving love,
Yes.
and you're sitting out behind the how many back in the 1920s a woman would be behind a mic speaking out. We have come a long
Yes.
way.
Amen.
Yes, we have.
We have come a long way. And I give ode to great women like Nancy Barbato Sinatra because I really looked up to her a lot. And I saw what I had to go through, and boy, that was deep. But it hits you.
Wow.
All women are like that. You know, the wives of these great men, they suffer a little bit because they have to be confronted with nonsense all the time. That's just the way it is.
It's tough. It's tough.
It
It's
is.
easy to converse about it, but to
Yes.
live it through,
Yes.
it's just not
And
that
you
easy.
never know how successful you are until it's over. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yes.
going, why is this happening to
Especially
me?
when you're in the
Right.
spotlight, people
Yeah,
are looking at you.
yeah,
You
Yep.
become someone of an example.
yeah,
You become many things to many people.
yeah. Like a regular, ordinary woman with a husband going around with other women. Now somebody gonna find out.
Hmm.
God's gonna give the wife some kind of incentive. She's gonna have some kind of mother wit and gonna pick up on it. It's not gonna pass her by, and then the little neighborhood might hear about it. But if it's me, the whole world hears about it, and it's worse.
Yes, it's worse.
It's
Yeah.
worse, and you just have to learn to be strong. Women has to always be the strong ones, but it's necessary,
Yes.
and it's just a beautiful thing to have the balance. It's good man have woman because that's his balance.
And to look at God.
Yeah.
God is our sustainer.
Yes.
When you have so many eyes and so many people and saying so many things that you don't even know what is it about.
Exactly. You get
You
confused,
get confused, but
distracted.
thank God is in the center of our lives, Frank,
Yes.
and
Amen to
you're
that.
able to
True.
stay focused and true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
It is.
Otherwise,
It is a daily battle.
But
You
the
mhm,
know.
blessing is that we have the book of history that keeps us on track. So block out a lot of stuff. You got your Bible.
Hmm.
amen.
It is your guide.
Hmm.
Your guide. The Holy Quran is a Muslim's guide, and the Torah is the Jewish people's guide. And if you follow those guides, you're not going to have a problem. You're just going to have to learn how to cope with those problems, and that shows you how to do that.
Yeah, and give some of that to God.
Yes, you got to
Yeah.
give everything to
Yeah,
God.
exactly.
Everything.
Amen.
Because
He's
He'll
first.
help us.
He controls everything. No matter how
Yes.
bad the country is going, God has a plan for the whole thing.
Amen.
We just don't know it. He knows it. And we just have to learn to accept what's happening and
Yes.
pray and keep
Give it to
praying for
him.
him
Yep.
to
Yes.
take care of everything. Because he's gonna take care of it anyway.
We need to enjoy everything that God is giving us.
That's right.
That's right.
The talents, the gifts,
The gifts.
everything we receive, but we give back. We give
Absolutely.
God, we give back to people, to societies, to communities, to countries. We just give it back.
Give it back.
It's so wonderful. And the more I learn about the Bible is very descriptive as to the times.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we need to rest in God
That's right.
Yep.
because He is the one that is in the throne and He is the one that has everything laid out. It's just for us to learn it
Yeah, we're just
and
going
be
through the
open to it.
time. Yeah. That's
Exactly.
It's
amazing.
the
It's amazing. It's
owner's
one thing
manual of life.
about a book, a Bible, or a Quran, or a Torah. When you read it, you have to read it over and over and over. You never get all the essence out of it. It's always going to be there for you to reference.
Yeah.
But if you read a regular book, you read it, you know the story, you're done. You go get another book. But the Bible, you can't do
Yeah.
that.
You can even go back to the same verses
I know it.
and it
And
just
you get
speaks to
something
you
new
And
out
you
of
again.
get
it.
something new every single time.
Today, I
Yeah.
only wish today that some of the younger generation, and some of them do. I mean, I know my kids read the Bible and they look at it. It's the owner's manual of life. I mean, it really is. But a lot of kids, I think today, not only has faith not been a part of their growing up, and church has not been a part of their growing up because it's looked at something like, I guess, for older people, because, someday when you die, you want to go to heaven and all of that. And that's a part of all this. But the point is, the Bible is a manual for life, not for death. And I think that's what gets missed a lot of times is that we create a religious type of connotation around God and talking about God, and but it's a manual for life. Creating life comes from the Word, and what I always try to focus on is not the natural but the supernatural. Because if you think about the supernatural is what you want to focus on because it creates reality in your life of supernatural things. So you
Mhm.
want to focus on those positive supernatural experiences that you can read out of the Bible and take those experiences and then focus on them and have that reality in your own life, because there are so many things that you can do. Look at this. Do you think that in my lifetime that I thought that I would be
What about
connecting
me?
with
Yeah, me too. I
and,
bet you.
well, you got to let me get there.
You better let me get there.
I'm working my way around the room here. And Elaine, I mean, to think that I would be able to be in a room with two very popular women and to be able to talk on a radio program and be able to share our
Yeah.
experiences of our lives together. I would, 20, 30 years ago, if you said that to me, I probably wouldn't even believe it was possible. But because of the supernatural connections God makes, we are all in this room together,
Yes.
and we are here being able to talk and share
Yeah.
our different stories of what we've been through and the celebrity status of what we have in our lives. And that's good. And it's had its down times, but it's had its great experiences too. And like Mama Ali always says when she's asked about her life and do you have any regrets in your life? And she says, I have no regrets, because she's, even in the bad times.
I learned a lot from the
Well, no,
times.
I know you do, but you don't
Yeah.
regret it because you enjoyed
Enjoy every
what
moment.
what
She
you.
started early at 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you started earlier, right?
Well, I was taking photography when I was 8. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I made my first black belt when I was 8. I,
And you're such a beautiful woman.
I'm just a reflection of you. Get out of here.
There you go.
Frank, help me out
Yeah,
here.
right. Well,
Hey,
Am
I
I
can't go
speaking
anywhere
true?
with that.
I
Yeah,
can't-
there's mirrors all over this
Yeah,
room.
that's it.
So,
So you're like 45, right? 40.
Oh, thank you so much.
Really?
don't you,
48. 48.
I don't do that age thing. Don't do that age thing.
Mama Ali, we're in the air.
Yeah, we're on the
Oh,
end.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm gonna
What'd you think that mic
I'm
was
gonna let
for?
everybody know I'm 70 years old.
Well, because you look
No
you look like you're
way.
50, so you could
You
say that and be proud of
My
it.
daughter's 52.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah,
It's true.
No way.
Yeah.
My mom is 90. She looks 60.
she does.
Oh my God.
She scares me.
Drives around. Yeah.
I got a bad knee, right? Got a little arthritis. So when I go to the supermarket,
Oh,
to
this is so
Publix, this is funny, isn't it? The little electric chairs you go and you
Yeah.
drive. My mama cracks up when she sees me in them. And she
Because
goes,
her mother's
Yeah,
90,
my
walking through the
mother's
store.
not walking
she's-
through the store like a gazelle. Ah. I go, Mom, don't laugh at me. This is so funny.
She's 90, walking through the
She's
store.
90 and
Oh
she's
my
like a
God.
gazelle going over here. I said, Mama, wait for me. And I'm,
She,
Ah.
Mama Ali,
Oh,
we'll
that
be
is
in
so cute.
we'll be in the store, and she'll be in one of them carts, and so I'll go, all right, Mama, I'm gonna let you go over here. You go to this side of the store. I'm gonna go look for some stuff. Now, if you need anything, call me on the phone. She don't call me on the phone. I'll hear her on the other side of the store. Go, Frankie, the cart broke down. So I gotta come all the way over the other end of the store, and I start pushing that cart while she keeps the thing in drive,
Oh my
and we
God.
gotta go get back
That
and
is
get
too
another.
much.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. We have the best time
Yeah.
together.
Oh my God. And we're having the best time now. I'm really
Yes, we
enjoying
are.
it so much.
I-
And I want to say hi to everyone who has joined us in this wonderful program this afternoon. I really want to thank our psalmist, evangelist, Vicky Romero. She
Oh.
made this possible.
Thank
And I want to
you.
honor
God
her
bless
Oh, yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I want
Vicky.
you to talk to her before you leave
You
on the
got
phone.
it. I would love
Because
to talk
if-
to another queen.
If I don't do this, I'm in
Oh,
trouble.
Vicky,
and
yes.
Frank, so
I'm
are
in-
you.
I know I am.
Hey,
I
you know
thought
what?
Vicky would
But
be
you know
here,
what?
but-
Yes.
This is about life. It's so beautiful, and I met so many beautiful and I just met a guy named John Sachs. He is awesome.
Yes,
He is
he's
awesome.
amazing.
He's
Yes,
actually right
I'm
here,
gonna
too.
recruit him at my casting company.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like to be in Kalila Ali or Mama Ali's casting company, just send your pictures and resume. And if you don't have a resume, don't worry about it. We'll make one. Go to the greatest casting agency at AOL.com and submit your photograph.
Amen.
Yeah.
Woo! Frank and Mama Ali,
Yes.
what are the projects that are coming up immediately this year, and what are your expectations for the new year?
Well, what I can say is, knowing Frank, I really, but this is we're in a pandemic now with the COVID-19. We have to respect the sources, and it's very hard to book anything soon. But my target is a nice concert for Mr. Frank Barbato at the Hard Rock Cafe. We're trying to get him in the Hard Rock. It's a beautiful hotel, and I think this will
Casino,
be
yeah,
a good
casino.
venture.
Mhm.
It's very possible that that will be the first big concert coming soon after the pandemic. There's a lot of things open up now, so that would be. I'm working on my life story book, which it should be
Wow.
done at the end of October. So we'll open it up. I want to open it up in the new year, 2021, and after that, I'll be casting some of my films, and all our films are going to be so clean your child could come to the movies
Amen to
because
that.
we're
Amen
not
to
going to
that.
have no sex in it. We're not going to have all this bad language in it. And,
Amen.
we're going to cut that out. And you know what? A
Needs to
lot
be
of people
done.
say, everybody says that it doesn't matter. It's wrong.
Mhm.
And I mean, even the ratings on television, you know how it says
Yeah.
adult language? How's adult supposed to be talking like that? That's not adult language. That's P for profanity. Don't
Yes.
even call
Yeah,
it adult
I
language.
hear things that I can't believe they say. Oh, it's true to life. Well, I don't hear people talking that much
Yeah. True to life, it
vulgarity.
need to
At
be
least not the
stopped. It
people I'm
need to
around.
stop.
They might do that once in a while, but not like these movies are getting so inundated with that kind of thing. And I think that's a big problem in that industry. And thank God, Mama Ali, for people like yourself that are going to be making productions that don't have to contain all that. And I can watch a movie without any of it in
Yeah,
it and
we
still get
need to
Yeah.
train our
Enjoy the
children.
yeah,
story.
We
enjoy the
need to train
storyline.
our
Exactly.
children that when you use your intelligence, bad language is not even necessary.
Amen.
It show people that you have
Yes.
intelligence
Very good.
and you have
I
faith.
love it. Mhm.
Thank you so much.
So that means you're coming back, right, Frank?
Yes, I'm gonna be a fly on the wall. I'll be here every time you want me. When the book comes out, I'll be here. God willing,
Okay.
I will be here. God willing,
Amen.
that this young man right here will get. He does such great works and do weddings. If they want to
Yes.
contact Mr. Barbato for a wedding or anything like that, have him to call 305 910 3136. That's 305 910 3136. And if it comes through this OVM, if you want to call OVM radio and ask Elaine
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
for the contact number, she'll give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I will. I
Yeah.
surely
And then
will.
you will get a discount, a 10% discount when you call OVM radio
There
All
you go.
right.
to make a booking.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And also, I want to share your CD, Frank Barbato Live. I'm going to show it here at the camera so they have a good view. And I urge you to get this CD. The music is just amazing. Just the thought of you will play right after the program is over for you to enjoy. Thank you so much. And Frank, we've come to the end of the program.
All
I would
right.
be here all day with you guys.
Oh, we could have a blast.
I think my producer would. Right, he probably wants to lunch.
Yeah.
Right. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
But what would you like to say now that we've come to the end of the program?
I want to say thank you for having me, and of course, this great lady next to me,
Yes.
Mama Ali, Dr. Khalila Ali. It's been an inspiration for my life, really, to not only connect with you and meet you, Elaine, but also this great lady and so many great women I've had an opportunity to connect with in my lifetime. And I just like I say, I credit my mom for the fact that I do focus on the storyline of the women behind the men who have made it great and famous. Like I say, Mama Ali,
Wow.
greatest behind the
Mhm.
greatest. So
Wow.
Well, I want to say just one thing. Um, my whole mission in life is to better the characters of our people. Uh, so what I did, I loved the color as a kid. So I created a coloring book that teaches manners and etiquette to adults as well as children.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
Great
you
book.
call in OVM radio and you can get your coloring book.
there you go.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
I like to deal with people's characters.
And those books, just incidentally, what
Yeah.
you didn't mention is those books go for free. We give them out. Mama Ali gives them out to different shelters and things that can't afford to have them for the kids. And those are all given out for free. So anything that comes in is obviously helps to print them and all of that. So it's more of a charitable thing.
It's
and
a charitable
donational
thing, yeah.
thing.
Well, if we can help in that sense,
Yes.
please, you can provide us some, and we'll
Mhm.
definitely give them out for
That's
sure
Awesome.
to
Thank
spread that joy. Amen.
God, God
I want to
bless you.
thank God
Amen.
for this
We'll
time. I
give it to
really
you.
had a wonderful, wonderful
Awesome.
afternoon, and I'm so blessed to have met you, Mama Ali. Frank Barbado. I've already met him. He's wonderful. I
Thank you,
thank
Elena.
God
Yeah.
for your lives. Thank you for keeping inspiring the
Yes.
lives around the
Mm,
world.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
It's just
Amen.
wonderful
And
to
you're
continue the legacy
Yeah.
Mhm.
and keep it alive.
Thank you.
That's right. So all those people out there listening to this OVM, the radio program that you're listening to, you're all a beautiful. You're all God's children, and you were made to be great. So
Amen.
stick with that.
Coming from the greatest
There you
behind the
go.
greatest.
Amen. And
There
I'm
you go.
leaving with those wonderful
Okay.
words. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God
God
bless
I'll
you.
bless
see you
you.
next
Bye
week.
bye,
Bye
everybody.
Bye.
bye.